All right, so today we're going to be looking at this podcast episode about the psychology of dressing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's called The Psychology of Dressing, How Your Outfit Affects Your Confidence and Success. And I thought
Interesting.
it'd be a fun one to kind of dive into together.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious to hear what they have to say about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
One of the things that really jumped out at me right at the beginning of the episode
Okay.
was this statistic that people form judgments about you within the first 7 seconds of meeting you.
Oh, wow. 7 seconds.
I know, that's so fast.
Yeah, that's like barely any time at all.
Right. It's like you walk in the room and boom, people have already made up their minds about you.
So first impressions are everything, basically.
It seems like it. And the episode talks about how clothing plays a huge role in those first impressions.
Makes sense. I mean, it's the first thing people see, right?
Exactly. It's like your clothes are talking before you even open your mouth.
They use this really great analogy in the episode. They say your outfit is like a business card. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's like you're projecting an image and sending a message whether you intend to or not.
So if you show up looking sharp and put together, people are going to pick up on that confidence.
Right. It's like you're saying, hey, I've got this, without even having to say a word.
Exactly. But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
The episode talks about this concept called enclosed cognition.
Enclothed cognition.
Yeah. And it's basically the idea that what we wear doesn't just affect how others perceive us, but it actually influences our own thoughts and behaviors.
Oh, wow. That's kind of trippy.
Right. Like our clothes are actually changing how our brains work.
So it's not just about looking the part, it's about feeling the part too.
Exactly. And there's actually some pretty fascinating research to back this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the episode mentions a study from Northwestern University where they found that wearing a lab coat, even if you're not a scientist, can actually improve your attention to detail.
No way.
Yeah, it's like your brain is picking up on the symbolic meaning of the lab coat, and it's making you more focused and alert.
Huh. That's so wild.
It is, right? So I guess the question is,
Yeah.
if a lab coat can make you more attentive, what can other types of clothing do?
I mean, that's a really good question. What if wearing a power suit actually makes you feel more powerful?
Or what if wearing bright colors makes you feel more optimistic?
Or what if wearing something really comfortable and cozy makes you feel more relaxed and creative?
The possibilities are endless.
I'm starting to think we really underestimate the power of our clothes.
Me too. And the episode actually talks about how this whole idea of enclothed cognition can have some real-world benefits.
Like what?
Well, studies have shown that dressing well can lead to increased confidence, improved performance on tasks, even a greater sense of authority and power.
So it's not just about vanity then. It's actually about giving yourself a leg up.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Like imagine you have a big presentation coming up.
Okay.
If you choose an outfit that makes you feel confident and capable, that could actually give you an edge.
Interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Right. It's like your clothes are this secret weapon you can use to boost your performance.
I'm definitely going to have to start paying more attention to what I wear.
Me too. So the episode goes on to give some pretty specific tips on how to dress with confidence.
Okay, what are they?
Well, one of the things they emphasize is that fit is king.
Fit is king.
Yeah. And they say that even the most expensive clothes won't look good if they don't fit you properly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all about finding clothes that flatter your shape and make you feel comfortable and confident.
Right. You don't want to be tugging at your clothes or feeling self-conscious the whole time.
Exactly. It's got to be something you can move freely in and feel good about yourself in.
So fit first and foremost.
Yes, definitely. And then they talk about the psychology of color.
Okay, it should be interesting.
Right. So they say that darker colors, like navy black or gray, tend to project an air of authority and confidence.
Like think about judges or executives. They often wear darker colors.
Exactly. It conveys a sense of power and seriousness.
So if I want to channel my inner Bach lady, I should reach for my black blazer.
Haha, exactly. But they also say that lighter colors, like white or beige, can create a fresh, approachable, and friendly vibe.
So it's all about choosing the colors that best support the image you want to project.
Exactly. It's like having different outfits for different situations.
Like a wardrobe superhero with different costumes for different missions.
Haha, love it. Okay, so we've talked about fit and color.
What else?
Well, the episode also mentions the importance of accessories.
Ah, yes, the finishing touches.
Exactly. They say that a well-chosen watch, stylish sunglasses, or a simple bracelet can add a touch of personality, sophistication, or even power to an outfit.
Yeah, it's like the little details can really make a big difference.
Totally. It's like adding the perfect gadgets to your superhero suit.
I like that analogy.
Right. It's about showing that you've put thought and care into your appearance.
And that you're not afraid to express your individuality.
Exactly. Oh, and one more thing they emphasize.
Okay, what's that?
Grooming. They say that even the best outfit won't have the same impact if your hair is messy or your shoes are scuffed.
Right. It's about presenting a polished and put together image from head to toe.
Exactly. Because even superheroes need to maintain their suits right.
Uh-huh. True. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Fit, color, accessories, grooming.
It's like we're building a blueprint for dressing with confidence.
We are. But I think what's really cool about this whole episode is that it doesn't promote the idea of spending a fortune on clothes.
Right. It's not about having a designer label on every item.
Exactly. It's about being intentional with your style choices and investing in a few key pieces that you love and that make you feel great.
You don't need a bag cave full of designer clothes to dress with confidence.
Uh-huh. No, you don't.
No.
It's more about having a few key pieces that you can mix and match to create different looks.
Like building your own personal capsule wardrobe.
Exactly.
This is making me think about that saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
But maybe it's more about dressing for the person you want to be.
The best version of yourself.
Yes. It's like our clothes are sending a message, not just to the world, but to ourselves as well.
Like what kind of message?
I think it's a message of I'm capable, I'm confident, I'm ready to take on the day.
I love that. It's like we're not just dressing our bodies, we're dressing our minds and our spirits as well.
Exactly.
So we've talked about first impressions, Enclothed, Cognition, practical tips for dressing with confidence.
It's been a lot to take in.
It has. But where do we go from here? What's the main takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key takeaway is that clothing has power. The power to influence how we feel about ourselves, how we perform, and how others perceive us.
And by understanding that power,
we can start to use it to our advantage.
It's not about becoming a fashion guru or spending a ton of money on clothes.
It's about being mindful of the message we're sending with our clothing choices and using those choices to support our goals and aspirations.
I love that. It's like clothing becomes a form of self-expression, a way to communicate who you are and what you stand for.
Exactly. But what if someone's listening to this thinking, okay, this is all very interesting, but I have no idea where to even begin?
What advice would you give them?
I'd say start by paying attention. Notice how you feel when you wear different outfits. Do you feel more confident in certain clothes, more powerful, more relaxed?
It's about becoming more self-aware.
And tuning into those subtle shifts in our own mindset.
And once you start to understand those connections,
you can start experimenting. Try incorporating some of the tips we've talked about. Maybe try a new color, a different fit, or a statement accessory.
It's all about finding what works for you and what helps you feel your best. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to this.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so empowering.
It's about taking control of your own image.
And using it to project the best version of yourself.
Now, that's something I think we can all get behind.
I agree. All right, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to walk away with?
I want them to remember that even seemingly small choices, like what we wear each day, can have a big impact on our lives. It's about recognizing that we have more agency than we think.
That's such a powerful thought. We'll be back in just a bit to explore even more fascinating insights from this episode.
So, we've been talking about how what we wear can affect how we feel.
Right, like that whole enclothed cognition thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy to get kind of carried away with all the possibilities.
Oh, yeah, like suddenly I'm picturing myself with a whole closet full of different power outfits for every situation.
Right. But one thing I really appreciate about the episode is that it emphasizes that dressing well doesn't have to mean breaking the bank.
That's good to hear. Because my wallet was starting to get a little nervous.
Me too. But the episode really stresses that it's not about having a ton of expensive clothes. It's about being intentional with your style choices.
So it's more about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They actually use this really great analogy in the episode. Oh, I love a good analogy. Lay it on me.
Okay, so imagine you have a toolbox.
Okay, got it.
Would you rather have a toolbox full of cheap, flimsy tools that break after one use? Or would you rather have a few high-quality, durable tools that you can rely on?
Yeah, I'd definitely go for the high-quality tools.
Right, and it's the same with your wardrobe. Instead of having a closet full of clothes you never wear, focus on building a collection of well-made, well-fitting pieces that you can mix and match to create different looks.
So it's like building a capsule wardrobe.
Exactly. A
Yeah.
curated selection of items that can be dressed up or down depending on the occasion.
That sounds way less overwhelming than trying to keep up with all the latest trends.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it can actually save you a lot of money in the long run.
Okay, I'm sold on the capsule wardrobe idea. But where do I even start?
Well, the first step is to take inventory of what you already have.
Ooh, closet cleanout time.
Haha, pretty much. Go through your closet and be really honest with yourself about what you actually wear and what you're just holding on to for sentimental reasons or just in case. Oh man, that just in case pile is my downfall.
I know, right? But sometimes those just-in-case items are actually cluttering up our closets and our minds.
So getting rid of them can be really freeing.
Exactly. And once you've decluttered, you can start thinking about what key pieces you need to add to your capsule wardrobe.
What kind of pieces are we talking about here?
I think it depends on your lifestyle and your personal style. But some good staples to consider are a well-tailored blazer, a classic white button-down shirt, a great pair of jeans, maybe a little black dress.
So basically, pieces that are versatile and timeless.
Exactly. Pieces that can be dressed up or down and that won't go out of style after one season.
Right, because the goal is to build a wardrobe that you can rely on for years to come.
Exactly. And don't forget about accessories.
Oh yeah, accessories are key.
A statement necklace, a colorful scarf, a great pair of shoes. These are all ways to add personality and style to your capsule wardrobe.
So it's like accessories are the spice that brings your wardrobe to life.
That's a great way to put it. And the best part is you can experiment with different accessories to create different looks without having to buy a whole new outfit every time.
That's definitely good for the budget.
And for the planet. But beyond the practicalities, I think it's important to remember that building a capsule wardrobe is also about self-discovery.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, as you go through your closet and start putting together outfits, you're really getting in touch with your personal style. What you like, what you don't like, what makes you feel good.
It's like you're creating a visual representation of yourself.
Exactly. And that can be a really empowering process.
So it's not just about the clothes themselves, it's about what they represent.
It's about choosing to dress in a way that reflects your values, your personality, your aspirations.
And that can have a ripple effect on your confidence, your mood, your overall sense of well-being.
It's incredible to think about how something as simple as our clothing choices can have such a powerful impact on our lives.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to that whole idea of enclothed cognition, how our clothes can actually influence our thoughts and behaviors.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept. And it makes you wonder, what if we approached our wardrobes with that in mind?
Like, what if we consciously chose clothes that made us feel more confident, more creative, more capable?
Exactly. What if we used clothing as a tool to help us achieve our goals and become the best versions of ourselves?
That's a really powerful idea.
It is, right. And I think it's something worth exploring further.
I agree. So what do you say we take a quick break and then come back to wrap up this deep dive with some final thoughts and takeaways?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're back, and I'm feeling super inspired after that last conversation.
Me too. It's like all these new possibilities are opening up when it comes to our wardrobes.
Totally. But I also want to acknowledge that this whole idea of using clothing as a tool for self-expression can feel a little daunting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's easy to get overwhelmed by all the options and all the pressure to look a certain way.
Especially with social media constantly throwing images at us of what we should be wearing.
Right. But I think the key is to tune out all that noise and focus on what truly resonates with you.
So it's not about trying to fit into someone else's mold. It's about creating your own.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole conversation about the psychology of dressing so empowering. It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose how we present ourselves to the world.
And that choice can have a ripple effect on so many other areas of our lives.
Our confidence, our mood, our creativity, even our success.
It's amazing to think about how something as seemingly simple as what we wear can have such a profound impact.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'd love to hear your final thoughts on this whole topic.
Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that clothing is more than just fabric and thread. It's a powerful form of communication and a tool that we can use to shape our own experiences.
I love that. It's like we're not just dressing our bodies, we're dressing our minds and our spirits as well.
Exactly. And we have the power to choose what message we want to send.
So to our listeners out there, I'd ask you this. What if you approached your wardrobe as a canvas for self-expression?
How would you dress differently if you truly embraced the power of clothing to shape your own story.
It's an invitation to experiment, to play, to have fun, and to discover what makes you feel